Hey, amazing animals. So there were some videos that I had looked up and that we didn't have time to share, which is okay because I'm always looking up more stuff than we have time for. And I thought that maybe I would put them up here in case you were curious. So here's our little friend, the bunny. We were learning about veterinarians and we were pretending to be veterinarians. And something that we talked a little bit about was how to do a blood draw. So sometimes you need to do blood work. You need to test and see if there are enough vitamins that the bunny or whatever, the dog or the cat or the horse, whatever the animal would be, you need to test to see if they have enough of certain vitamins. Or sometimes you want to test and see if there's stuff there that shouldn't be there. Maybe you want to see if there's, antibodies and they've had an infection. There are lots of different reasons that veterinarians and human doctors would want to draw blood so that they can test it in their lab or send it to a lab and have the test come back to them. So we learned about that often veterinarians, they like to do a draw in the front legs, right? In the front legs, not in the back legs, because the animals tend to kick with their back legs. Kick, kick, kick. So we had learned that they would take their syringe, and this is just an oral syringe. We use these for experiments at school all the time. There's no sharp on here, but we're going to pretend, and if you don't have one at home, that's okay. You can take a pen, you can pretend that's a syringe, right? You could take a pencil and you could pretend that's your syringe and you can do a blood draw. So they would take their blood draw. Usually they might pick one of these front legs right here. Now I'm going to put a link down below, so if you just look down below, there's going to be a link that you can click, and it's going to take you to a video, and it's going to show you real vets, and they're doing a real blood draw on a real patient, a real animal patient. It's not very long, it's less than 2 minutes, but it's nice to see what it looks like in real life, so when you're pretending at home, you can try and copy what you see the real vets do. And there's one more thing, we talked about it during class, but we didn't have time to see it for real. Sometimes veterinarians need to get a urine sample. So we talked about this. If it's a dog, they have a little container and it would have like this little funnel thing that would go under it. So you take your dog for a walk and you literally would put it underneath your poor dog as it was urinating. You collect it in the sample, and it's not like this little thing. There would be like a screw cap on there, and then you bring it back, and then the vet would be able to test it, because again, we might want to see are the bunny's kidneys working, or the dog or the kitty or the horse or the cow or the sheep. We want to know. And also we might want to look for other things that we could find in urine. So people doctors, veterinary doctors, this is like a very common thing that they do. But cats are a little bit of a different story. No one's going to run underneath their cat and try to catch the cat's urine. That's not going to happen. So sometimes they have special litter that's different than normal litter, and it absorbs the urine, so you could try that. But like I told you guys, when I had a kitty, she did not like that. So every time my vet needed to run a urine analysis, she would do this. She would take a syringe, and her and the vet tech would hold my kitty very gently. They're very, very, very gentle with her. And the vet would come, and she would find she would find precisely where my kitty's bladder was, and she would go in with the syringe and she would draw the urine with the syringe. Now, once doctors, once they draw urine or blood, they don't just leave it in these little syringes. I know at school when we're doing experiments, we leave stuff in here and then we squirt it out and stuff. They actually would have a little vial, and then it would get transferred into the vial. And in fact, there's usually a lead that, would come out of not this side, as the side with the needle, it would come out of this side, and then it would just go right into there. So there's another video that I'm going to link to down below, and it's not very long. It's only 3 minutes. And you're going to get to see a vet, and he's going to collect a real urine sample, and he'll tell you a little bit about, the different ways that they try to get them. So they try at first if you can catch it underneath your dog, if you can use that special litter. We call that non-invasive, right? Because it means you get it outside of the animal's body. You don't have to actually poke them and put something inside of them, which is really, a syringe is only mildly invasive. It's not fun, but it's not really going to hurt them, and they need that urine to do the analysis. They need that blood sample to do the analysis. So those are 2 videos that I've linked to right down below, and you can watch real live vets doing these real live things. And then if you want to, you can play pretend to be a vet, and you can practice these things at home. Okay, bye-bye.